Hello, hello, hello. Today I want to talk about a topic that is so near and dear to my heart. That is the comfort zone. So have you ever felt like, oh, I'm just so scared to do something. I don't know what to do. And that is called your comfort zone. You're living inside this bubble, your bubble, called your comfort zone. This is where you're comfortable, where you want to stay, and you don't want to step outside of it. But oftentimes the things that are going to propel us forward, the things that are going to make us successful are sitting outside of it, and we have to jump out. My name is Linda West. I'm a global mastermind coach. I'd love for you to go and follow me on Facebook at Living Life Inc. on Facebook. Go follow and then click the button that says see first so that when I go live, you will be notified when I'm live. Also, if you take a moment to share this video out with anybody you know who has fears, that would be awesome. Now, in 2015, I faced a fear every single day. So here's how it went down, because people ask me, you had 365 fears? Yes, I did. Well, some of them are duplicates, but yes, I had a lot of fears that I had to break through. In 2014, I hired a life coach who's helped me to start to see that, who I really am and what I have to offer, what kind of value I have to offer. And so what I discovered was I had so many fears that were preventing me from doing those things, whatever they were. So I woke up the morning, January 1st of 2019, and I said to myself, I got to do something different this year. I have to do something that's going to make a change in my life because I'm starting to grow. I'm starting to step into this new person that I didn't even know who I was. So I decided I was going to face a fear every single day. Every morning I woke up for an entire year and I asked myself, what scares me? Whatever was the very first thing that popped into my head, that was the thing that I had to do because this was my commitment I made to myself. Now, I didn't jump out of any planes. I didn't eat any bugs. It wasn't like fear factor. It wasn't like that. My fears were all in my head or deep rooted, like in my stomach. Like my stomach would just go crazy when there was something coming up that I was scared to do. And there were so many fears that were just related to, like most of my fears were related to judgment. I had this deep-seated fear of judgment. So as I was on this journey, I discovered why I had that fear of judgment, but it took many months of me breaking through fears for me to realize that my biggest fear was that fear of judgment. And then what I discovered along the way is that I'm not alone. You might have fear of judgment. Fear of judgment is something that prevents us from putting ourselves out into the public eye in any way, shape, or form. So I give an example. I attending networking events. I hated networking events, but I knew I had to be there because I started my business. Like I left my corporate job in 2014, December of 2014. And so I started this entrepreneurial journey, which I had no idea what I was going to do. So I started inserting myself into a bunch of networking events, attending seminars, attending online webinars, just going all these different places so I could meet new people to help me maybe discover what it was I was going to do to make money. So I embarked on that journey. And along the way, I discovered that, oh my gosh, I was so scared to talk to people, so terrified to go walk up to a person and start a conversation. Even just saying the words hello, we're scared. Well, it's one word. It's only one word. It's 2 syllables. I was scared to say that word hello. My comfort zone was being in my house. My comfort zone was being on the place I was, like my job when I was working in the corporate world. I had 49 jobs. So each time I started a new job, I went through this uncomfortable phase of getting to know people, and then it became my comfort zone. So I love this because the comfort zone that we often hear about is this bubble, like in your life. You know what? I'm gonna draw on the board. I have a board here. So give me a second. I'm going to get my microphone so it doesn't bang around. I'm not going to draw on the board because there's nothing to draw with. Otherwise, I would draw on the board. Okay, so let's imagine this is your comfort zone. This is your world that you live in, and you don't like to step outside of that comfort zone. But imagine also that the thing that you want is up here. It's outside of your comfort zone. But you're like, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to do what I need to do in order to get that thing I want because it's comfortable in here. I love it in here. This is where I feel good. This is where I have like all the warm fuzzies and everything's grand and nothing is stressful. Nothing is scary. Out there is scary. I don't want to go out there. But you know you have to go out there. So you sit inside of this bubble, inside of this comfort zone, fretting over what you need to do to get this. You imagine it and you sit there and you beat yourself up. You tell yourself lies about what's going to happen when you get out there. You tell yourself lie after lie after lie. It's common. We all do it. And so this comfort zone here has prevented you from growing, So here's what I like to say is instead of stepping outside, I don't ever step outside of my comfort zone. Instead, here's what I do. This thing is up here, right? I enlarge the size. I wish my fingers were bigger. I enlarge the size of my comfort zone. So now instead of my comfort zone being this small, it's now grown. So it's grown to be this large to incorporate that thing that I was so fearful of going towards. And I want to ask you this question, and I'd like you to think about it and answer honestly. How many times have you had something that was outside of your comfort zone? You were scared to do it. You went ahead and did it, and the result was better than you expected. And if you can't remember a time that happened, I want to implore you. I don't know if that's the right word, implore. I like that word, but I don't know what it means. I just realized. I'll implore you to. I'm going to ask you to do something today or this week. Commit to yourself something that enlarges the size of your comfort zone. Because in 2015, I started off with a comfort zone about this size. And every day it got larger and larger for 365 days. And it just kept growing and growing and growing. My comfort zone has become so large because I've done so many things that I was terrified to do, that now what I love to do is I love to invite you into my comfort zone. I'll give an example of something that I was really, really scared to do, but I did it. I had an opportunity. Well, actually, I didn't even know I had an opportunity until I asked. But I asked if I could interview stars on the red carpet at the Academy Awards after party, the City Gala. And I asked because I had met the organizer's assistant. And so I reached out to her and I said, hey, can I do like live video? Can I be your live video correspondent on the red carpet? And she said, well, you have to reach out to the organizer. I'm like, okay. So I was scared. I was scared to do it, but I did it. And I reached out and I asked, and I said, hey, can I do the live video correspondent on the red carpet? And he shot back an answer. Yes. That was his answer. The thing is that I was sitting in my bubble. I was sitting inside of my bubble, my comfort zone, scared to ask because what if he said no? What if he said no? If I didn't ask, the answer is already no. When we don't ask for what we want for, the answer is already no. So when we say, we go through these things in our mind, right? And we're like, oh, I don't want to ask because they're probably going to say no. Or if I ask, it might be embarrassing. I don't want them to know that I wanted to ask. And then if they said no, then I'm going to be embarrassed if they said no. And we go through all this crap in our head, like making up all these stories about what's going to happen. Then we do that act, whatever it is. And again, I ask you, have you ever done something when you were scared to do it? And when you were done doing it, you're like, oh my gosh, that was so much better than I ever imagined. Right now, I'm in a competition. It's called the Next Impactor. When I signed up to do the competition, I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and sign up. It's no big deal. I'll just, whatever. I'm not going to win anyway. This was my whole mental attitude going into it. I'm not going to win anyway, so I'll go ahead and sign up. So I signed up, and immediately, once I turn in an application, it costs $25. Like there's a $25 application fee. Turn in that application fee along with my application. Suddenly, I was like, this is real. I'm actually in this competition. So I'm going to put my best foot forward, do the absolute best that I can. and hopefully I will win this competition. And actually, I'm going to do everything I can to win this competition. And now my mindset has completely switched from one of being scared to enter and thinking that I was going to lose and all this stuff and like not even caring about it, to now like I'm in it to win it. I have my full focus on winning. I should say my full focus because I have to run my business at the same time as I'm in this competition. So, I'm still running my business, but, I'm in this competition and I'm spending my time and devoting my time. So anyway, the challenge that we had this week, I can't tell you what it is yet because it's not released to the public, which it should be released to the public later today or maybe tomorrow. But this challenge was challenging. Oh my gosh, I got really challenged to, again, step out of my comfort zone. And as I was driving to the location to do this challenge, I had this like nervousness going on, and I'm talking to myself because I faced fears for an entire year. I know what it feels like, and I know what happens on the other side of fear. It's usually so much better than I ever imagined. And I'm still talking to myself like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be scary. I'm gonna have to do this. I can't tell you what it is. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to do this, and I'm scared to do that because that's out of my comfort zone for sure. So what ended up happening is I got that courage. As I was driving, I talked myself through it, and I was like, okay, when you get there, go. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do this. Like I was telling myself the exact steps. Do this, 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 this. It was like 5 or 6 steps I had to do in order to make this happen. And by the time I was actually doing the act, doing the performance, as you will, of whatever the act was, right? The fearful thing, I call it, doing fearful things is a performance as I'm performing through this fear. So as I was doing this performance act, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much better. It was fun. I had a blast. I had so much fun that as we were doing it, I said, this is so much fun. I might want to do this every month. So it's really cool how when you're willing to step outside of that comfort zone, I call comfort zone, Schmumfort Zone, when you're willing to step outside of that comfort zone, what you do is you enlarge the size of your comfort zone. Now I want you to imagine this. I want you to imagine yourself being like me, scared to go to networking events. And then I know somebody who loves going to networking events. I go tap on their shoulder and I say, hey, Susan, you love going to networking events, right? And she goes, yeah, oh my God, I love them. I love meeting new people. I love introducing people. So this is Susan talking, right? You're like, oh my gosh, this is an opportunity for me who doesn't like going to networking events because I have this fear of meeting new people. That's one of my fears. I still have that fear, even though I've met a lot of new people, probably thousands and thousands of new people, but I still do it because I know I need to do it. And after I meet them, I'm glad I did it. So anyway, I go, hey, Susan, can I go with you to the next networking event? Because now I'm going to enter inside of Susan's comfort zone. So what happens is I'm sitting in my comfort zone. I don't want to go to networking events. Susan's comfort zone is over here. What's happened is I've enlarged the size of my comfort zone by me going with Susan. She's comfortable there. So if I go to a venue, go to an event, go to meet new people, go to a party, go to games, like even going to football games with friends, I still that's like a nervous thing for me until I'm there. So if I insert myself into areas with people who are comfortable doing that thing, it makes it so much easier. I've entered their comfort zone, and it just makes it so much easier for me. So this is one of the recommendations that I have is when you're going through situations or if you're going through something in your life where you're going to be having to step outside your comfort zone in order to have the result that you want to get. The result that you want to get is oftentimes outside of that comfort zone. So you got to muster up the courage to go do it, right? This is one thing I've become really good at helping people with because, oh my gosh, I have a lot of stories about people that I've helped break through their comfort zone in order to have the success. Like one of my clients tripled her income in 3 years. And one woman, I helped her. Oh my God, this was so awesome. I helped her to get a $20,000 raise, at her job. And, she was a legal secretary like I was. And I helped her to get a $20,000 raise. You know what that did for her? It gave her confidence, first of all. And it also got her and her family off of food stamps. They were on all kinds of government aid. They got off of all of that aid because she got that $20,000 raise. And so it's so cool that I could help somebody break through this Her fear was of applying for a new job because I don't know if you know this, but a lot of people who are getting government aid, they're scared to make more money because let's say, for example, just for easy numbers, let's say they're making $1,000 a month, and that $1,000 a month gives them $500. I don't know. I'm just making up numbers. I have no idea. That $1,000 a month considers them to be in the poverty line, under the poverty line. So the government then pays them $500 in order to be able to live. So let's say now that they're making 1,000, the government's paying them 500. Again, I don't know about these numbers. I'm just making this up to make it easy for math. And so that $1,500, right? They're bringing in $1,500 a month. So what happens is that person now is scared to get a raise of, let's say, $100, because that gives them now $1,100. And then the government lessens the amount of aid that they get. And sometimes they lessen it so that government might not go for like across the board, lessen it by 100. They might lessen it by 150. Now all of a sudden that person who got a $100 raise is now making $50 less than they were before. So I've met a lot of people that have been on government aid. Fortunately, knock on wood, I was only on food stamps. That was when I was a single mom way back in the day. That was a long time ago. Anyway, that was like 1986, I think it was. And so imagine you're on a job and you're scared to get a raise. You're scared to get a raise because if I get a raise, I might not get any more aid. And some people might look at that and say, well, you don't want aid. But what we don't realize is that oftentimes the raise doesn't make up for the aid that they were getting. So now they're all of a sudden making less money. But when you get a $20,000 raise, that shoots you way up above the poverty level. And so she was now able to get off of all government aid. So what did this do for her life? What did this, facing this fear of applying for a job and getting a job, what did this do for her life? It gave her a lot of self-confidence. Since then, I think that was almost 5 years ago now, almost 5 years ago, she's gotten 7 raises. And it might be even more now because the last time I talked to her was about 6 months ago. But so she's gained a lot of confidence. She's gotten more raises. She's making more money. She now is traveling when she wants to. She's able to get her daughter through college. Whereas before, she was wanting the government to help to pay for her daughter's schooling. But now she's, paying for the schooling herself. She's gained this confidence like nothing else, and it's so amazing what just having that little bit of boost to break through one little fear, what it's done for her. And I have other stories like that too, many, many stories of, helping clients through things like that, because the fear is what's debilitating. Fear is what's stopping you from living the life you truly want to live. And how do I know this? Because I had been prevented from living the life I wanted to live for 51 years because I had so many fears. Now, since I started breaking through those fears, again, this was in 2015, and I wrote a book about it called The Year of Fears. My mentor, he said, you should write a book about that. So I did. But I wrote this book, The Year of Fears, by facing a fear every single day. Some of the things I'm doing now are things that were never even imagined. Like in my mind, I never even imagined them, that I would be doing them, because in my mind, those things that's for those people. That's for rich people. That's for pretty people. That's for elite people. That's for socialites. Like I had all these images of what doing that was for, that, whatever that is, right? So some of the things I'm doing now is just like, whoa, it just blows me away when I think about it. For example, on the red carpet, the Academy Awards after party, right? I just recently interviewed Wesley Snipes. And then last year, I had a privilege and honor to interview, oh my gosh, Jack Canfield. How can I draw a blank on his name? I just love the guy. He's amazing. Jack Canfield, the author of The Success Principles and co-author of Chicken Soup for the Soul series. Absolutely amazing, like really incredible stories of me interviewing these people. I interviewed Kevin Harrington just recently. I've interviewed Sharon Lecter, Frank Shankwitz, creator and co-founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and Ugg Boots founder. So I've interviewed some really absolutely amazing people, which is something I never would have done before. But all of this stuff that I've done by me breaking through those fears for a year, all of this stuff that I've done, because I have stretched outside of that comfort zone and I have enlarged the size of my comfort zone and I have stepped into other people's comfort zones. By doing that, all of this has led to this global mastermind program that I have. And it's such an exciting endeavor for me because I'm able to bring all the knowledge that I've learned, especially on the facing the fears, all of the knowledge that I've gained in this last several years, this last 4.5 years, being on this journey, this entrepreneurial journey. I can impart all of that information to my clients and help them to grow their business, because oftentimes a lot of the things that are stopping them from growing their business are related to fear, and they don't see that it's fear. They don't see what they need to do. So they need someone on the outside to step in and say, hey, hold on a second here. Stop what you're doing. That's not working. Let's try something different. Got an idea. Let's try this instead. And so there's just different ways of being able to grow their business by helping them to step outside of their fears. If you're interested in learning more about the Global Mastermind program that I have, it is for women only. It's for women only. We meet several times a week, sometimes too many times per week. But no, we meet several times per week, and I'm going to help you to grow your business, going to help you to step outside of your comfort zone, going to help you to break through your fears so that you can live the life you truly want to live. The things that you want to do in your life, they're sitting out there outside of your comfort zone. So I want to get you there so that you can live that life that you truly want to live. So go ahead and reach out to me, and I'll put it on the screen here. Oh, that's not the right thing. Oh, wait, here we go. Step into my comfort zone. I had these things all ready to go, and I didn't even put them up on the screen. First of all, follow me on Facebook there. And if you're interested, please, go to Living Live Inc., livingliveinc.com/30. Set up an appointment with me, to meet with me, so we can see if this program is right for you. The Global Mastermind, it's for women entrepreneurs who are struggling with their business. They're like, I've got this thing going. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not sure how to get there. So this is for you, those who are struggling with it and you're just not sure what steps you need to take, and you need that support. Maybe when you go home, you don't have the support that you really, really would like to have so that you can grow your business. Maybe you have people in your life who are like, I don't think that's going to work. Why are you trying that? Why do you keep trying to make money on something that's not going to work? You tried already this many businesses before. That's not working for you. All these things that people say to us. Now, fortunately, my husband doesn't say stuff like that, but I have heard stuff like that from other people in my life. And I choose not to hang out with those who say negative things about what I'm doing, because I know intuitively that what I'm doing is right? And intuitively that what you're doing is right. You have a passion for it. You have such a strong desire to make it happen, such a strong desire. And what's happening is some of the people in your life are getting in your way. So let me help you step into my comfort zone. And that comfort zone is one of helping people to grow their business, helping women. I love women. I got to go. Kids are starting to show up. Helping women grow their businesses so that they can live the life that they truly want to live. My name is Linda West, and I am your Global Mastermind Coach. You guys have a great day. Go ahead and make an appointment with me, livingliveinc.com/30, and I look forward to meeting up with you. Have a great day now. Bye-bye. Step outside of your comfort zone. Enlarge it.